Another hologram. I was hoping to finally talk face to face.
And we will, I promise. To be honest, I wasn't even sure you'd come through.
You certainly got my attention by pulling that stunt. Why did you bring me here?
I've called this place home for years, well before the days of planewalkers and long before the dawn. I've witnessed soldiers oppressing Samosials, even resorting to violence. I've seen the avaricious corporate schemes that have shattered lives.
Interesting. When was that?
I was just a kid, but I grasped enough. This experience has altered me in a way I could never have foreseen. To address your query, I was once a captive in these very dungeons. Yes, I'm aware you were, but shush, please. I can't concentrate. What? No, not right now.
What the hell is wrong with you, pal? You're talking to yourself, dragging me to some god-forsaken place. Is this a sightseeing trip or what?
I apologize for all of that. Anyhow, I want you to witness something firsthand and locate a piece of equipment. Now, off you go.
Bother with this damn kid. Stop complaining. He's a collateral. Simonov needs the little shit to keep Kozlov in line. I'm not a fucking babysitter, so. And they ought to pay you to keep your mouth shut and be whatever they need you to be. Whatever.
Hey, little guy. What are you doing here? This is no place for children.
No kidding, old-timer. Let me out of here before the guards come back.
What's your name, kid?
I'm Gleb. I didn't do anything wrong. Let me out of here, or my uncle will kick the crap out of you.
Whoa, easy there, little fella.
I'm not little. I'm already 10, you know.
This was incredible. You see, I didn't realize planewalkers could bring past events back to life.
Yeah, this could be pretty useful.
Those kind of memories usually occur only where there's strong emotions attached to them.
This is... something. I know, right? I know you're surprised, Demon. No,
This crap is getting really tiresome, friend. What do you want?
Have you located the anti-Chernobylite burner? Please pick it up.
Not a chance. I'm not retrieving shit till we clear some things up.
Really? Right now? But we're so close, and time is of the essence.
Well, if that's the case, I'm in luck, because I've got plenty of time.
All right. Fine. What do you want to know? Well, I'll clarify. I promise. But not at this moment. I need you to have faith in me.
And why should I trust you? How do I know you're not using me for something?
If my intention was to harm you, I have already breached your base, remember? You have no reason to be afraid of me.
I've been threatened by more terrifying adversaries, but hearing you keep talking to yourself doesn't inspire me confidence.
We're getting close. Real close. I promise. Don't forget to pick up the anti-Chernobylite burner. Deliver it to the entrance of Matfei's village. You've arrived. Great. Did you bring the anti-Chernobylite burner?
I did, but I got some further questions.
Okay. I'll try to answer them as best I can. No. The scientists sent me to help the people around here. It's called Net Bay's Village. This is an ancient history, especially from your perspective.
Did Igor know any of them?
That's an understatement. It's safe to say he held some very strong emotions for them, and it was reciprocated.
Interesting. I need to ask him about it sometime.
Exercise extreme caution in this area. Igor was a completely different individual in those days. No need to keep hiding it, is there? I'm Gleb Kozlov.
I knew your voice sounded familiar. Obviously you're not the same Gleb that traveled with me to the zone on board of the Harvester.
What gave me away?
Sergeant Kozlov is a different type of person. Very different from you.
You're right. I'm not the Gleb from your dimension. I'm from... here. This very version of the zone. Ah, please, just be quiet for a minute. I'm discussing myself at the moment. You're familiar with the multiverse theory, aren't you? Semenov explained it to you?
I'm not a scientist, only a gun for hire trying to feed his family. Semenov told me what I needed to know.
Nevertheless, you must be aware of the fork in the road hypothesis. Every millisecond, when the state of time and matter fluctuates, things can unfold in countless different ways. Each of our choices spawns a new timeline, creating a fresh universe. Because he's right here.
What? Where?
In my mind, tormenting me. Somehow, he turned into a squatter who sought refuge in my head.
Well, this sounds like the delirium of someone on a wild mushroom trip inside a radioactive forest.
It's not, I assure you. Let's leave that for a moment. Can you see the barrier blocking the entrance to the village? The capsule somehow drew the Chernobylite crystals to this location. Would you be so kind as to remove it with the device you discovered in the prison? Make your way into the village, and we'll speak again.
Emergency life support system on. Vitals are weak but stable. A member of Harvester's mission number 7. Gleb Kozlov recognized.
Planewalker, we finally meet face to face. Just look at this guy. He sits there like a fish in a can, but it doesn't stop him from tormenting me. Some months ago, scientists sent me to this village to help the locals. Then the capsule crashed and everyone fled in terror.
But you stayed.
I wanted to help, and I was obviously curious. I often get into trouble like that, you know?
Without Planewalker tech, you can't really open the pod. You need the FMC paired with Harvester's crew DNA.
I only wish I knew it sooner. I tried everything, and might have accidentally damaged the door.
You did what? God damn it. Why would you mess with something so fragile?
I attempted to reason with him, but he doesn't see any value in my life. To him, I'm merely a vessel he needs to carry out his mission.
I tried everything to open the pod, and I'm out of ideas. Perhaps we need to put him out of his misery. And mine. I know. I'm at my wit's end.
For Gleb, Sergeant Kozlov, his mission comes first. That's who he is.
A mission, you say? So what does it make me? Collateral damage? How's that even remotely fair? If you ain't lending a hand, I'm staring at a future full of pain. And sooner or later, your buddy's gonna hijack my body. But maybe that's your jam, right? You'll get yourself another planewalker?
You're just a regular human. Your body wasn't subdued to Chernobylite geno modifications. You'd make a very poor planewalker, if any.
So there's nothing you can do? Nothing at all? Wait. Sergeant Kozlov is whispering in my brain again.
What does he say?
There might be a solution, but it's risky. You can use your scanner thing to remotely disconnect the battery that powers the life support system.
Well, that might work. In case of an immediate life threat, it overrides all protocols and just opens. Mine did. On the other hand, you damaged the door. There's a small chance it could malfunction.
I know you don't have a reason to believe me, but Sergeant Kozlov says, better to be a king in hell than a servant in heaven.
Sure sounds like him. It's still a hard choice to make.
You know what's at stake. What's it gonna be, Planewalker? I will be eternally thankful. But what's your plan for carrying it out?
I can use the FMC to access the control panel of the escape capsule and disable the life support system.
Good. I never wished him to endure suffering. I truly appreciate you taking this task. I'll accompany you after you've completed what's necessary.
The door wouldn't budge. He's gone. Fuck.
I'm really sorry. I didn't want that to happen. What is this? No! Make the screams stop! I can't endure this any longer! Ugh! Make it stop! Make it stop! The agony! He says he'll listen to what you have to say.
Sergeant Kozlov, I know the situation's less than perfect, but tormenting this citizen won't help. I promise to find a way out of this problem. Just hang in there, buddy. I'll find a way to get you out of this mess.
He says he wants to go with you to the base, to keep an eye on things.
And what do you want, Gleb? You want to join in as well? I thought you didn't care about Planewalker's mission.
I don't want to, but staying this close to you is my sole means of escaping this torment. If you can't evict this pest from my mind, perhaps you can at least keep him in check.
All right. See you at the base then. You know your way, right?
Of course. Thanks once more for understanding my situation. It means a great deal.
Cole Black, would you like? Of course, amigo. I hope you find what you're looking.
I said, but we're just... And here you go, just top-notch stuff. All you have to do is choose.
A planewalker in your team. And not just any. Sergeant Kozlov himself. The old Kozlov must be proud. Anyway, I doubt it was the reunion you hoped for.
I'll find a way to save both Gleb and Sergeant Kozlov. I need them both.
Careful. If you focus too much on saving them, you may miss the moment when you lose them both. Anyway, do you need anything from me? What do you need from me, Planewalker? What do you need from me, Planewalker?
How's your research going, Dr. Valenkova? Any progress?
Progress would be greater were I fortunate enough to have the proper individuals assisting me, not quite like you. I don't thrive as a one-woman army in the realm of scientific research. I'm afraid that's simply not an option, and even if it were, it would only serve as a short-term solution. I need someone who can be here consistently, entirely uninvolved in the messy politics of factions. Someone who can become my right hand. Someone I can truly trust. Kulan Melnick, an accomplished engineer and master metallurgist, is a remarkably brilliant and exceedingly generous individual.
All right, let me swing by that school and pick Kulan up.
But not so fast. Elena rather reluctantly agreed that Kulan may accompany us, but only once she returns with the goods. Find Kulan and help her with Melena's assignment. And before you start making jokes about the banality of the task...
I wasn't going to.
I don't want Kulan to be roaming alone around these ruins any longer than it's necessary.
I understand where you're coming from. I will bring Kulan back safely to our base.
Thank you, Cole. We all owe you a debt of gratitude.
over here, darling. We need to hurry. Geez Louise, I was starting to think I'd grow roots here. Let's get at it, shall we? No, the Pope, John Paul II. Look, sweetie, I'm really in a hurry, and Sonia said you'll be plenty of help, don't you know?
Kulan, why don't you slow down and start over?
Oh, sorry, about that, Planewalker. When I get working on tasks, I tend to get a little too worked up. Hee, no pun intended. The good Dr. Milena Lockwood needs some spare parts for her fancy device. She sent me on a, well, treasure hunt. Oh sure, a treasure hunt, yeah no, that's like one of those games or adventures where folks go looking for hidden stuff, maybe a prize or some. Milena's playing her cards close to the vest, if you catch my drift. All I can tell ya is this surge has something to destroying the dome with, anti-gravity. Turns out, there's some old NAR motion sensors and microcontrollers laying around here. They are essential.
Where did they come from?
Hell if I know. Maybe the old NAR was packing this stuff up to haul it out of the zone and then skedaddled in a panic? Or maybe some thieves swiped M from a warehouse and then ditched M when they figured they were useless? In any case, these little buggers are what Milena wants me to bring to her before she'll let me join ya, Planewalker. Little boxes. They are field motion sensors and microcontrollers straight off of old NAR gadgets. Millen will have her sensors and microcontrollers, and will be all set to join up with your merry crew.
Can you give me some pointers to help with the search?
Well, I sure can and sure will, sweetie. There's another bunch of scientists sent by Milena Lockwood on the same hunt. But just be careful not to ruffle their feathers, ya hear? Don't want to stir up any further trouble with Milena.
Scientist party, got it. Anything else?
There's a wandering salesman not too far off from here. Veniamin. He might just have some of them NAR boxes stashed away in his goods. I marked all their locations on your map so you don't get lost, sweetie.
Alright, that should be enough information. I'll be back when I collect enough boxes.
Greetings, stranger. Perhaps Veniamin can interest you in some valuable items.
What are you selling?
Veniamin collected various goods during his travels across the zone. Surely you will find something interesting? Browse to your heart's content, stranger. Greetings, stranger. Perhaps Venimin...
What are you selling?
Venimin... Browse to your heart's content.
Planewalker Hon, how did your scavenger hunt go, eh? And make it snappy, would ya? The sooner we put all this fuss behind us, the quicker I can get down to working alongside Sonia. Planewalker Hon, how did your Alrighty, then, how many did you collect, Planewalker? Looking good, Planewalker. With that many NAR boxes, we ought to be in fine shape.
Glad to hear that, Kulan. I think you're ready to get this show on the road.
Alrighty then, that's everything I need to wrap up my business with Milena and them scientists. I reckon it's time to hit the road. Once I drop off in boxes, I'll be making my way to your base. Catch ya on the flip side, Planewalker.
Planewalker, I want to express my gratitude once more. I understand you had to make an impossible choice, and it hasn't completely resolved the issue.
Well, truth be told, terminating another Planewalker in situations like this is allowed. It doesn't change the fact that I feel kinda shitty right now. That would make a lousy commander.
A lousy commander, but a remarkable human being. In my book, Planewalker, that's what matters most.
At least you tried, and I'm forever grateful for this. I'll do my best to make it up to you however I can.
You could start by explaining where the hell you were in flesh this whole time.
This is somewhat embarrassing. You know what they say about hiding in plain sight? I've been here the entire time, concealed in your closet. I'm just kidding. I was near the village this whole time. Really feeling weak. Going straight to your base felt like a lot. I had no idea how you'd react. Also, Igor was there. I was kind of afraid of him.
Yeah, I get it. That grey mask could creep anyone. His personality doesn't help either.
The Chernobylite hologram device is extremely valuable, as it enables you to project your avatar to any location within the zone.
It's a Planewalker tech, isn't it? Where did you get it from?
I found it near the capsule. Didn't know how to operate it, but my dark passenger gave me a crash course. All right, thanks once more. Cole, we need some rest. We'll talk again soon.
Gleb?
Planewalker, Cole, what can I do for you? Of course. What would you like to discover today? Welcome to your next training. Please make yourself at home. I disagree. You know what they say about home? It's where your heart is and all that. I never really had a place I could call home.
Really? I thought you spent your youth in General Kozlov's big-ass mansion.
Well, it was a villa for sure. A palace built on money earned on human misery. But it was no home. It was a prison. And I decided to leave it as soon as I was able. I see you get it. You're a kindred spirit, Cole. Anyway, I didn't do it on an impulse. I thought it through and made preparations. One of the challenges was packing.
So this is the part where you reveal the subject of today's training.
Indeed. I didn't have much time to make my way out of General's dacha, and I could only take a backpack and some outdoor clothes so as to not attract attention. That's how I discovered that you can always pack more if you do it using your brain.
Sounds interesting. But I wonder if you can even tell me something I don't already know.
Let's see. I've got 5 tips for you, Cole. Pay attention. Tip number 1. Make a checklist to make sure you pack what you need. No more, no less. Tip number 2. Choose items that serve multiple purposes to minimize the number of things you carry. Tip number 3. Pack flat and flexible items against your back for comfort. Tip number 4. Use the hood of your rucksack to secure more items and the straps to compress the load. Tip number 5. Never forget about the mesh pockets. You can always squeeze a little something extra in there. Now, let's go through that again to make sure you remember.
Why do I get the feeling that it'll all somehow come to me naturally and that this is an exercise in futility?
Sergeant Kozlov says, don't be a party pooper. He's kinda right. I'd hate to see all my talking go to waste.
Fine. Ask your questions.
You can always squeeze a little something extra in there. What am I talking about? What? Next one. To make sure that you pack what you need. Create a... Well, it could be useful for many things, but not this one. Next one. To minimize the number of things for you to carry, choose items that... Right. Multi-tools, cotton bandages, duct tape, and more. Another one. What can you use to secure more items to your rucksack and compress the load? The hood and straps indeed. Add more items and squeeze everything in for a better fit. Last question. When packing your rucksack, where should you place flat and flexible items? It could theoretically work, depending on what you put there, but it's not the most optimal space.
And? How did I do?
What can I say? It was a roller coaster of uncertainty and surprise. I'll remember your answers for quite some time. That's it for today, Cole. Thanks for your time. See you at the base.
Cleared.
Planewalker. Cole. Of course. What would you like to discover today? Cole Gray, I'm delighted to see you here.
Likewise. How's the old goat treating you?
Sergeant Kozlov once again reminds you to treat him with respect that his rank demands. Stand at attention when you're talking to me, Private. Now get down on the ground and give me 50 push-ups.
Are you being serious right now?
He's just fucking with you. You should see your face, Cole.
I'm glad to see you both in high spirits.
That was really funny, but let's get back to the reason you're here. I would like you to simultaneously practice shooting from your fists and managing your levels of Chernobylite energy.
I guess I'll be using the Planewalker's gauntlets.
Spectral Gauntlets Mark II. Allows you to shoot projectiles using your own Chernobylite power. Sergeant is especially proud of this weapon. He was the co-author of its design. You seem to be quite knowledgeable about that. Sergeant Kozlov is very impressed. The weapon itself has some downsides, however. I'll talk about it in a moment. For now, please give us a little demonstration of how you shoot those mannequins. What happened, Cole? You look totally drained of energy. Guess you can't shoot the spectral gauntlets anymore?
My gut is telling me that this is the gauntlet's drawback you wanted to talk about.
Yes, myself and Lieutenant Kozlov focused on finding an alternative way of restoring your Chernobylite energy levels. Here, administer this healing serum before continuing. It's also a vaccine of sorts. It will create an entirely new metabolic pathway in your brain. There's nothing to fear. We consulted some scientists about that. They gave us a crash course on the subject. From now on, your body will metabolize every bit of healing serum in a new way. Their effects will be splitted into both health regeneration and Chernobylite energy restoration.
What makes you think it's gonna work?
We will find out soon enough. Now, why don't you resume your shooting training? Lieutenant Kozlov says you should take every opportunity to practice. And I agree with him. In fact, we will both rate you. Now take the healing serum and then start blasting away.
What do you think, Sergeant Kozlov? We've achieved a great success, haven't we?
Well, I'm guessing you're both happy.
We're definitely both happy with the field test of the compound. However, when it comes to target practice, Sergeant Kozlov says he liked what he saw. However, there still is room for improvement.
And what do you think, Gleb?
I think he's right. There's still room for improvement, Cole.
Right. I guess the training is now complete.
The most important thing is that the jab worked. You will now restore some Chernobylite energy every time you use the health serum.
Dr. Vilenkova used to tell me about Kulan long ago. She admires her, even despite her folk background. She claims Kulan's the most talented engineer she knows.
I hope she's right. An engineer should be a powerful ally.
Anyway, do you need anything from me? What do you need from me?
Walker, it's Dr. Lockwood speaking.
Yes, I recognized you, Doctor.
I've heard about your latest actions, and I called my people who work with you to discuss those pieces of information. I wish you to be present during this conversation. Join me in my office. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, of course. As you wish, Dr. Lockwood. Bloody hell, that woman.
I sure do gotta have a chat with ya, Plane Walker. Let's summarize your efforts. A real big ol' thank you is in order, I reckon. Your help, well, it was just plain indispensable in getting me here lickety-split.
The pleasure was all mine.
Well, I'll be darned, Mr. Grey, sir. I never quite pegged you as a gentleman. And gosh, take a look at ya now, you ain't half bad looking yourself, don't you know? Oh, for crying out loud, what in God's name are ya blabbering on about? You think I was flirting with ya or something? Yuck.
Blimey, anything else? I'm in a bit of a rush.
I had a chat with Sonia already. She's a real bright lady, don't you know? We're gonna do some mighty fine things together, her and me.
I've no doubt in my mind about that.
Well, Cole, it's a right lovely day, wouldn't you say? Now, what can I do for ya? It will be my pleasure, don't you know?
Well, ain't it something that you're keen on this training? And, by the way, ever heard what DIY really stands for? There. Back in the day, behind that iron curtain, folks were missing out on all them capitalist goodies, like radios and even bicycle wheels. Can you believe it?
Actually, I can. I read something about this part of the world.
Folks had to get real crafty, you know. They had to come up with some clever tricks to substitute it, or, heck, even build things from scratch. Ingenious, I tell ya. Deliberate innovation yielder, that's my DIY now. Quite the switcheroo, don't you think?
Or you could just say necessity's the mother of invention. It's nothing new.
My DIY, it's a whole different ballgame, a completely different deal.
Well, I guess we'll find out in the next couple of minutes.
No need for me to gab on. Best way to get the hang of it is to dive right in and learn by doing. Practice makes perfect, after all. Alrighty then, gonna do a little scouting and fetch you 3 makeshift swords, just like that, on the double. You found him. Well, ain't that grand. Now, skedaddle back, and I'll spill the beans on what's what. Recall what I said about DIY. Well, here's the lowdown. You can break down them swords you snagged for parts.
How is the dismantling work progressing? Come back when you're done and bring me the parts.
Got them parts ready. Shuffle back over here and hand him over. Well done, Planewalker. You sure put that DIY smarts of yours to work.
DIY smarts, huh? That sounds very original.
In parts you handed over. Now, hustle back to that workbench and whip up a snazzy new weapon. Make it something a Planewalker would be proud of. I can see you pulled off crafting that weapon. Head back and let me lay eyes on it. All right, let's have a gander at your handiwork. Quite nice. It ain't my style, though. My DIY philosophy takes a different route, you see. Never check out them older, low-quality weapons. Tear them apart for parts and whip up something new. That's the gist of it.
Understood. Thanks, Kulan.
Well, Cole, it's a right lovely day, wouldn't you say? It will be my pleasure.
Well, there, Planewalker. Ain't you wondering why I done fetched you round these parts today?
Not really. You were somehow supposed to help me take better care of my armour. But, you know, that don't really make much sense to me, because that's a task I delegate to my companions. I don't do nothing myself with my armour.
It's real true, don't you know? But let me throw in a couple of points right here. Well, first things first, you gotta wrap your head round all this cause. You see, you're the one to send out them tasks. So, it's only logical you know what needs doing before telling someone to do it. You catch my drift. Well, you see, spilling words like that ain't exactly in vogue no more, I reckon. Anyhow, that ain't exactly what I'm getting at. Now, secondly, when your squad hits a roadblock, there might be times when you gotta serve up some brand spanking new ideas right to him. Sure thing, but that's neither here nor there. I might not always be in the picture, and if that comes to pass, you gotta lean on your own self, don't you? Now, lastly, when someone pitches an idea your way, you gotta size up if it holds water and jibes with the grand plan for spiffing up your armor, capus. Well, I reckon you'd come round to see the light. Proud of you, Cole.
All right, let's get this over with. What can you tell me about the process of fortifying my armor?
First, we gotta mosey through 3 big topics of fortification, material, design, and testing. You gotta grasp the sort of stuff you'll be using for fortifying that armor, you know. You see, when dealing with advanced alloys or composites, you're talking a whole different set of tools and material. That's the way to crank up the strength-to-weight ratio for your gear, you betcha. If you aim to have your armor gain strength from mixing with the environment, spice it up with them smart materials and sensors. Those little doohickeys can tweak their properties depending on what's happening in the world around you. Finally, gotta ensure that gear lasts through wind, rain, frost, the whole kit and caboodle. Slap on some coats of protective paint, and you're golden, you betcha. Get the lowdown on the initial design of your current armor so you can step it up a notch. Don't pile on too many plates, or you'll sacrifice speed and ergonomics. Being a human tank might sound swell, but it's not all that practical. In my book, a good blend of flexibility, durability, and protection is the way to go. Got a modular design on that armor of yours. It might be tempting to ditch it for the sake of durability, but hold on. Let your armor grow and evolve right along with you. Got them nanomaterials and tech, huh? Well, hot dang. You can beef up that armor's durability without lugging around any extra weight, don't you know? Don't you ever skip putting every piece of armor through the ringer, testing it in all sorts of situations after the fortification's done. How else are you gonna know if it's a success? Wrap your head round simulating real-world scenarios, you know, seeing how that armor holds up in all kinds of places and situations. It's the key to knowing if it's gonna cut the mustard out there. Keeping it real with continuous tweaks based on how it plays out in the field. Now that's the secret sauce for getting it just right. The armor enhancement never really ends. Sometimes, the only way to amp up your armor's durability is throwing in some safety features. Avoiding accidental self-inflicted injuries from your armor's fancy features is always a nice touch, you know. Okay then, let's have ourselves a little knowledge test, Planewalker.
Oh gosh, I hate that. Do we have to do that?
Oh, come on now. How else am I gonna figure out if you've been paying attention? Let's dive in, shall we? What material works best for a good weight-to-strength ratio when fortifying an armor, you think? Oh, goodness, never heard of it. Well, shucks. First question already given you a headache, ain't it? Next up, what kind of design should you keep for your armor, huh? You betcha. It's wise not to lock yourself into any solution permanently, you know. All right, last one. What kind of test should you run after you've finished fortifying your armor? Sure thing, it's always a good step, but it might not cover all the bases, you know. Well, I'm pleased as punch that you took the time for my rambling. Got high hopes for you, Cole. That's the gist of it. I know it was kinda quick and to the point, like shooting off bullet points, but here's hopping it lends a hand. Don't fret none. It warms the cockles of my virtual heart to see you fired up about that fresh know-how. It's gonna take you a good piece down the road, I reckon. Regardless of the twists and turns, I'm betting you can chip in and keep that gear shipshape from now on. Should give it a longer lease on life. Best of luck, partner.
I've already involved Kulon in one of my projects. I've been trying to solve that problem for months, and she just took a look at it and came up with a solution. Thank you, Cole, for bringing her here. You won't regret it, I promise. But you wanted something, right? If you're bored, Cole, I can teach you something if you want. The basics of scientific knowledge.
What is this place, Dr. Valinkova?
It's one of Mr. Kiminek's labs. We've been working here on this. We built it out of the scrap from your ship, for the experiment.
Experiment? What do you mean?
As Planewalker, your neuron network was prepared to be modified by neuron implants that could improve your performance. Unfortunately, the accident with your escape pod damaged it, and now your body rejects it like a transplant. But the machine can fix it. Not yet. The machine's not fully operational yet, but I believe you can fix it faster than us. It's Planewalker's technology. Take a look around, scan the machine, and do something to make it work. Maybe you'll see something I don't.
Performing an analysis of the medical module. Irregularities are detected. Incorrect power supply. Too high voltage. The pill dispenser is empty. Fill it out to start the procedure. Main electric control system fixed. Performing an analysis of the medical module. The module is ready to operate. Power parameters changed. Run analysis on main computer to check power supply. Performing an analysis of the medical module. The module is ready to operate. Performing an analysis of the medical module. The module is ready to operate.
Amazing! Yes, that's it! Looks very solid and shouldn't cause you any harm. I would use it if I were you. I must warn you, it may hurt a little, but I guess the future prophet will reward you for it. Now please, get inside. Faster we do it, the better. I'm staying here. I'll be supervising the whole process. Nothing to worry about. Well, how do you feel? It's over. We did it. Your vitals are normal, but are you okay?
Sure, Doc. I feel good.
I knew you'd help us fix the machine, and it will fix you. Please, take it. It's an implant since your neuron network is working again. You may get more with time, but that's for the beginning. You should test it.
Thank you, Sonia.
We have a common goal, after all. So far, even though you robbed me of 3 of my people, you managed to make a contribution to scientist studies. I'll pretend I did not hear that. Nevertheless, I'm glad Dr. Filinkova eventually found the right direction in her research, thanks to your help.
Yes, Dr. Lockwood. The latest results are promising. I keep studying them, but I'm hoping for a breakthrough soon.
We'll talk about the details when you have one, Dr. Filinkova. I hope I will be the first one to see them. Nevertheless, you should consult your research with people who may have key information. I'm talking about that hermit. Actually, all the studies by scientists belong to the scientist faction, which I'm the head of. I'm not a huge fan of sharing our work with non-faction members to avoid leaks, but getting key information is way more important.
Even if there's a possibility someone may exploit or intentionally mislead us?
You sent Planewalker to do what you couldn't, Dr. Filinkova. You should trust him instead of insisting he do what you wish. Wasn't that you who pushed me to trust Planewalkers? Just do the same, Doctor. Speaking of dedication to science at the price of pride, I let 2 of you recruit Engineer Melnick. I'm satisfied with this cooperation so far. Planewalker helped the engineer deliver what I asked for.
Me and Doc Filenkova were quite the duo, ya know. Top-notch team.
I'm grateful you allowed Engineer Melnick to join me in Planewalker's base, Dr. Lockwood.
Anyway, I hope you both will be able to make the breakthrough you're always talking about a bit faster, Doctor.
You're being a bit quiet, Gleb. Well, none of your personalities got something to say?
I got no help from the scientists. What's to say here? I had to turn to coal for it. Quiet. Let me do this one by myself. But you see? It solved nothing. I still have him in my head.
Your case was complicated. Multiverse theory is something we don't get to know better yet. But I'm deeply shocked you decided to kill one of your own, even though it changed nothing as we see. Did you trust a man you just met with such a thing? Nevertheless, you somehow helped one of my people, which I'm thankful for. Nevertheless, I'm happy you joined Planewalker. Both Glebs have their people by themselves now. Dr. Filinkova is the best specialist when it comes to Planewalkers. If you can find help anywhere, now you're in good hands. Now I know everything. You're still not very convincing in your actions, Planewalker, but since 3 of my people joined you, last time I made you a proposal for our future cooperation. Now I have something I'm willing to entrust you with.
Oh, really? What a surprise. And what's that?
For the past weeks, I and a group of scientists have been working on a device that has the potential to destroy the dome. I consulted the idea with your mentor. I modified his idea of Chernobylite disruptor.
Will it attract all the Chernobyls from the area? You should evacuate your base then.
I bet it won't, but we only tested it on paper. It worked there, but Chernobylite's unpredictable. That's why I won't risk testing it here. The request is as follows. You'll test the machine on a large concentration of Chernobylite, far from human settlements. Not just for me, Planewalker. As I said, we have a common goal, but our path differs. I guarantee we'll all benefit from your heroic act. I'm sending you the coordinates. Call me when you get there. Now forgive me, I must join my team to monitor the experiment from the lab.
Good luck, Cole.
You betcha, it's gonna pan out. We gathered up in motion sensors and microcontrollers for this very thing. I can just feel the success brewing.
Planewalker Coal Grey, right? Oh, excuse me, but I have very little time for you because of those Samosials. Unless you came to buy something, but I don't have much. Oh, it is you again. Oh, it is you again. You are
I'm here. Are you sure it's gonna work? Chernobylite's all over the fucking place, and the crane...
You're there to test it, Planewalker. Now focus, please. You have to run the machine with your computer. When it's done, find me in my office. I'd like to hear about everything. Good luck.
Leah, what are you doing here, man? Oh, don't tell me Milena ordered you to come. Oh, such little faith has she got in me.
No, she doesn't give a shit about me anymore. She got back to her work as soon as you left the base. I came here on my own. Even though I still have that parasite in my brain, I appreciate the fact that you were ready to sacrifice your supervisor for a man you just met. Shush, no, just let me speak. I understand it, and I think I never properly thanked you. Please, let me return the favor. Since we don't know what Dr. Lockwood is dealing with, I wanted to help you. Do your job, Cole. I'll have your back.
Thank you, man. I appreciate this.
released Chernobylite energy because energy was detected inside the breach. Further analysis is recommended. Enter the anomaly to proceed.
The fight's over, but Cole, be careful with this breach. It may be dangerous.
Remember what I told you first time we met? 3 is the limit, unless you want to generate just enough exotic energy to tear this and other worlds into atoms.
I do. What happens with you in this place?
Nothing. I told you this place is something beyond our understanding. You'll take advantage of its energy for your plane walking. Killing other abominations won't open the breach anymore. It's for safety. But we're running out of time. We'll not see each other again. Choose for one last time.
I was scared I sent you to your death. Dear Lord, I never thought I'd say that. But good to see you, Cole.
Well, that was a close call, Doctor. I do hope you know what you're doing. Now that you've been warned, your machine won't work.
I have been warned my machine may not work exactly as I wished it to work, Planewalker, but it had potential. I had to check it. It wasn't my intention to put you in danger, believe me. I know about the crane, but I couldn't predict the disruptor's energy could be used to enliven it. The dome is my concern, not yours, Planewalker. Me and my people will take care of it. We'll have to find the cause of our failure and start preparation for the whole experiment from the very beginning, I suppose. Anyway, thank you for your help, Planewalker. My people will remain with you and keep doing their research. Maybe they'll find something intriguing. I'll contact you if I have anything concerning our common goal. For now, that's all. I need to go back to work.
You work too much, Dr. Lockwood. Get some sleep. Or coffee, at least.